So one of the things that you requested that we work on is, excuse me, Chalula giving you a cue to let you know that she needs to go outside. What we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how I get her to get used to putting her nose on the bells that are on the door. So this is what we've got. I made these. Very easy. You just string 3 jingle bells together and then do a little braid and then make a little knot for the door handle to go through. You're more than welcome to have these if you'd like. So what I'm going to do, and this is her lunch. So what I've got, I'm just going to show her the jingle bells. Good girl. Good girl. And when she puts her nose towards the jingle bells, I'm going to verbally reward and let her know that she did what I wanted. I'm going to verbally reward first, and then I'm going to produce the treat. Because like I said yesterday, we don't want treat/food dependency, just to get her to pay attention. Good girl. Good girl. So I want to get about 3 to 5 good repetitions, and this is not the first time we've done this. We did this a little bit yesterday. I'm going to let her get the little crumbs off the floor there. Good girl. Good girl. You can use a clicker to mark when she does something that you like. I personally like a verbal cue instead, because that limits the amount of things that I have to have in my hands. Because as you can see, both of my hands are already doing something and I don't have a third or fourth one. Good girl. I'm going to verbally reward. She's not going to get a treat because she just leaned her nose towards. The nose didn't actually make contact with the bells. That's okay. I'm just going to give her a second. She's going to reach for the hand. Still not quite correct. Go. Good girl. Sit. I'm going to give her something that I know she can accomplish, and I'm going to reward her for that, just to make sure she doesn't get bored. It's okay that she stands up. I'm going to make sure she gets all that treat out of that hand. Not quite. My German Shepherd giving some commentary. Good girl. Very gently, her nose did touch the bells, right? A for effort. I'm going to point to these little guys here on the ground. I'd like to get another good repetition real quick. Good girl. Good girl, Chalula. That was a good one. That was a really nice one. I'm now going to hang these on the door. And I'm going to ask her to move into a heel position. Good girl. I'm going to ask her to sit beside me. Good girl. Good girl. And always make sure whenever you're rewarding, whenever the dog is behind you like this, see how she popped her butt up off the floor just a little bit? That's okay. Sit. Good girl. I want to ask her to sit back down. Good girl. Okay. And I'm going to let her know okay whenever it is, I'm going to say okay whenever it is okay for her to break the position. Some people like the word break, release, whatever word you want to use. I like okay. As long as you're consistent every single time, you can use any combination of word and or hand cues as long as they're the exact same every single time from every person. Chalula, sit. Good girl. And because she knows how to do the sit, I'm not going to provide a treat for it every time. Walk. Good girl. And I'm going to lure her to come around and sit in front of me. Good girl. Notice my body posture is nice and tall. I'm not directly over top of her. She's sliding a little bit on the floor. Good girl. Come on. Good girl. Something else I want you to notice is that I don't ever ask her something verbally more than one time. Okay. We always want to use as few words as possible when we're working with our dog because we don't want to confuse them, and because she doesn't speak English, it will just confuse her when we use an excessive amount of words. I'm going to... Good girl! The nose touch the bells just a little bit, give the verbal reward, and immediately provide the treat. I'm going to... We're working on a couple different things here. We're not only working on the bells, we're working on some luring here, which is what this is. Her following this baited hand with the food in it. I'm gonna let... Okay, come on. Good girl. I'm gonna lure her back into a sit. Good girl. And this helps a lot with leash walking. Okay. Chalula. Sit. That's okay, she got distracted. Sit. Good girl. Good girl. Every time she's going to eat, we're going to be working on something like this. I'm going to act like I'm holding these. Good sit. I'm going to take them off the door. That's okay. I'm going to look away from her, give her a second to think about whether or not she would like to continue to do this. She's going to move up to me and say, hey, what do you want? Good girl. Good girl. So in an instant like that, I'm going to modify what I'm asking so that she can accomplish it. Because that's the biggest thing, is making sure that our dogs are able and capable to succeed what we're asking of them. Good girl. And that time I moved the bells closer to the door, but they are still in my hand. But she is actively moving towards the bells because she's not turning her head. Good girl. Towards me, she's moving her head towards the bells to put her nose on it. This time I'm going to try holding them basically directly against the door. It's okay, I'm going to give her a second. I'm going to remove the object. Since she's not moving towards it, I'm going to put it away. I'm going to try again. Hi. I'm going to put my nose on it. That's okay. I'm going to move away from that space. I'm going to move back to that space. Doesn't want to, that's okay. I'm going to ask her to do something that I know she will and can accomplish. Good girl. Sit. Good girl. Good girl. But whenever I say hand feed, this is what I'm talking about. We're actively working on specific skills while we're eating. This will help increase food drive. Good girl. This also helps strengthen the bond between handler and dog. This also helps you work your dog in more distracting areas as they are ready. Because we can't ask our dog. It's almost like if you're in the middle of having a panic attack and someone tries to ask you to do something, there's no way you're going to be able to do that. Dogs are kind of the same way. Dogs are really bad at generalizing, which means taking information from one area to another. We want to make that as simple as possible by working them in low stimulation environments that they are comfortable in, so that when we are in a higher stimulation environment, they're going to go, oh, I know what you're asking. I know how to do that. That's easy for me. And that's what we're gaining when we're working. You're such a good girl. She's just sitting there looking at me. I'm going to try the bells one more time. Come on. Good girl. I just want her to stand up. Good girl. Good girl. And also by doing this, I'm letting her know that this silver bowl doesn't feed you. I do. Boundaries, right? Say just some boundaries. Say everybody needs boundaries. I'm going to let her lick my hand. You're such a good girl. You're such a good girl.